Have you ever indulged in what's touted as a health food, like yogurt, only to experience bloating, gas, or just an overall feeling of discomfort later on? You're definitely not alone, and it's not just your imagination, it's biology at play. Today, we Eurostrade are going to explore the reasons behind this, uncovering 3 food pairings you should avoid with yogurt, and revealing 3 that can actually enhance its benefits for your gut. Stick with me, and you are Eurostrade, and I'll leave with a clear understanding of how to enjoy yogurt in a way that truly supports your digestion and makes you feel great after every spoonful. Before we continue, if you find this information helpful, consider showing your support so we can continue to share valuable insights on well-being. Let's start with fruits, especially citrus and melons. This one can be surprising because fruit and yogurt seem like the perfect match. You can picture those yogurt containers lined up in the grocery store: Euro, strawberry, blueberry, peach, even tropical mango blends. The packaging screams healthy, natural, and good for you, and it's easy to buy into the hype. Who wouldn't think they're making a smart choice with this colorful combo? But the truth is, mixing yogurt with certain fruits, particularly citrus or melons, might not be the wellness solution you're expecting. In fact, for some people, especially as we age, it can cause more trouble. Let's explore why this seemingly innocent pairing can lead to digestive discomfort. First, let's consider citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, lemons, limes, pineapples, and even some tart berries like raspberries or blackberries. These fruits are delicious, bursting with flavor and vitamin C, but they also have a high acidity. While that acidity can be great for cutting through a rich meal or waking up your taste buds, it can create problems when mixed with yogurt. Yogurt, being a dairy product, is rich in proteins which don't Eurostrade to always react well with acid. When the two meet, whether in your breakfast bowl or in your stomach, the acidity can cause the proteins to curdle. It's similar to what happens when milk goes bad or when you add lemon to cream. The curdled mixture becomes harder for your body to break down, potentially leading to gas, bloating, or a heavy, sluggish feeling in your stomach, like you've swallowed a brick instead of a light snack. Imagine this: my friend, Sarah, loves to add lemon to her yogurt. One day, she decided to go on a trip to Italy. One morning in Rome, she combined her yogurt with lemon and felt very uncomfortable for the rest of the day. Now, let's switch to melons like watermelon, cantaloupe, and honeydew. These juicy, refreshing fruits are a different story but can be equally problematic when paired with yogurt. Melons are considered fast-digesting fruits. They are Eurostrade reloaded with water and simple sugars, so your body wants to process them quickly. Yogurt, on the other hand, is a slowpoke with its dense proteins and fats, lingering in your stomach to break down. When you eat them together, the melon is ready to sprint through your system, but gets stuck in the yogurt traffic jam. It's like a race car stuck behind a tractor on a narrow road. When that fast-digesting melon gets held up, it can start to ferment in your gut. Fermentation might sound beneficial when you're making kombucha, but in your stomach it can lead to gas, discomfort, a bloated belly, and, for some, a mad dash to the bathroom. This isn't just modern science either. Ancient traditions like Ayurveda have long cautioned against mixing fruits and dairy. Ayurveda teaches that fruits and dairy have different digestive needs, and combining them throws your system out of balance. This is especially true for those with slower digestion, which describes many of us as we age. As we get older, our stomachs don't churn as efficiently, and our bodies aren't as quick to handle challenging food combinations. What might have been a non-issue in your 20s can become a daily annoyance later in life. Let me offer an example. My neighbor, John, a vibrant 68-year-old, loves to start his day with a big bowl of watermelon and yogurt. He'd been having trouble with bloating. After swapping the watermelon for berries, he found that his bloating subsided. So, while fruit and yogurt might seem like a wholesome diet staple, they're not always the dream team we've been led to believe, especially if you're experiencing tummy troubles or are over 50, when digestion can become more sensitive. Your stomach will appreciate you rethinking this classic pairing. Next, let's talk about meat or high-protein meals. This might not be an obvious consideration, but it's just as important as the others and can significantly impact how you feel after eating. Specifically, yogurt should not be paired with meat or other high-protein meals. This may seem like a minor detail, but there's fascinating science behind it, and understanding why can help you optimize your digestion and overall well-being. Yogurt is already a protein powerhouse on its own, packed with nutrients and beneficial bacteria, those probiotics that do wonders for your gut health. But when you combine it with another rich source of protein, like chicken, beef, pork, or even eggs, you're giving your digestive system a much tougher job than it needs. This is especially true if you're over 50 when digestion naturally slows down. So, what happens when you mix these protein heavy hitters? Digesting protein requires a significant amount of stomach acid. It's a complex process that takes time and energy. When you pile one high-protein food, like meat, on top of another, like yogurt, in the same meal, your stomach has to work overtime to produce enough acid to break it all down. As a result, digestion slows to a crawl. Imagine your stomach as a busy kitchen trying to prepare 2 large dishes at once with limited counter space. It's just too much to handle efficiently. When digestion lags, the food sits in your stomach longer than it should, and that's where things can get messy. While it's hanging out in there, the food can start to ferment or even putrefy. Yes, those words sound grim, but they're accurate. This process can produce gas, leaving you feeling bloated and uncomfortable. It might also lead to that heavy, weighed-down sensation in your gut or trigger acid reflux. Over time, if this becomes a regular habit, it could contribute to chronic inflammation in your digestive tract, which is something none of us wants. There's another layer to this protein overload issue. The probiotics in yogurt, those little heroes that support your gut microbiome, can get overwhelmed when your stomach ramps up acid production to tackle all the protein. It might wipe out those beneficial bacteria before they can do their job, rendering the yogurt's probiotic benefits less effective or completely nullified. Consider this: a friend of mine, Michael, was eating steak and yogurt for dinner. For a long time, he couldn't figure out why he felt bad after dinner. After a while, he decided to cut yogurt out of the dinners and discovered that he felt much better. So, instead of having the yogurt right alongside his steak, he could enjoy it as a standalone snack earlier in the day, or wait at least 2 hours after his meal when his stomach had calmed down. Think of your digestive system like a fireplace. You can't just dump a huge stack of logs onto the flames and expect it to roar beautifully. Too much fuel at once smothers the fire, making it smoky and inefficient. Digestion works the same way. You've got to feed it the right amount of fuel in the right sequence to keep things burning smoothly. When you toss yogurt into a mix with a heavy, protein-rich meal, it's like throwing an extra log on an already overloaded fire. It just doesn't work as well as it could. So here's the takeaway: save your yogurt for a quieter moment in your day. Enjoy it as a light breakfast with some fruit, a refreshing afternoon pick-me-up, or a post-dinner treat after your stomach has had time to process that hearty meal. By giving your digestive system this little breather, you'll allow your body to fully soak up all the incredible nutrients and probiotics yogurt offers without the discomfort of the wasted potential. It's a simple shift that can make a world of difference in how you feel day in and day out. Finally, let's discuss spicy or fried foods. I'm not here to knock your love for heat or the occasional crispy indulgence. There's something deeply satisfying about a spicy chili or a perfectly fried snack. But when it comes to mixing these with yogurt, especially if you're over 50, we're stepping into tricky territory. Trust me, your stomach will thank you for paying attention here. Let's start with spicy foods: chili peppers, hot sauce, fragrant curries. On their own, they can bring a fiery thrill to your taste buds, but they are not always kind to your insides. Spicy ingredients can irritate the stomach lining, especially if your digestive system isn't as resilient as it once was. Age can make things more sensitive than there, and that's normal. Now imagine tossing yogurt into the mix. Yogurt has a cooling, soothing vibe. It's creamy and calming, and it tends to form a bit of mucus in the digestive tract. Sounds like it might balance things out, right? Not quite. What happens instead is a digestive tug-of-war. Your body's confused: should it cool things down or brace for the heat? For many, this clash doesn't end well. You might feel a heavy, unsettled sensation in your gut or deal with indigestion that creeps up fast. Excess gas can start bubbling up, and, for some, acid reflux kicks in almost immediately after the meal. It's like your stomach sending up a white flag, begging for mercy. Now, let's shift to fried foods: crispy fries, golden chicken wings, fresh donuts. These treats are usually cooked in processed oils. Those oils are already a challenge for your body to break down, even on a good day. They're heavy, greasy, and they don't glide through your system. Pair that with yogurt, and you've created a meal that's practically begging to overstay its welcome in your stomach. The combination turns into a thick, sluggish mess that can sit there for hours, weighing you down like a brick. Bloating becomes almost inevitable. Your belly might feel puffed up and uncomfortable, like you've swallowed a balloon. And here's the kicker for older adults whose metabolisms aren't running at peak speed anymore: this joke can even stir up inflammation. I've heard people complain about stiff joints or a general achiness after meals like this, and it's no surprise. When digestion slows, your body has to work overtime, and that effort can ripple out in ways you don't expect. I knew this person who ate fried foods with yogurt, and she felt terrible afterwards. One day she decided to not eat the yogurt, and she felt much better. So spicy or fried foods and yogurt might sound like a fun combo on paper, but in practice, they're a recipe for discomfort, especially as the years add up. Enjoy them separately, savor them in their own moments, and you'll keep that digestive peace intact. Now, let's explore what you should eat with yogurt to optimize its benefits for your gut, ensuring it works in harmony with your body. We've covered the foods to avoid pairing with yogurt, but now it's time to shift our attention to the positive side, 3 exceptional foods that not only complement yogurt beautifully but also amplify its digestive advantages. These options are chosen for their gentle, nourishing qualities, making them ideal for individuals over 50 who may need extra care when it comes to digestion. When combined thoughtfully, these foods can leave you feeling lighter, more energized, and in tune with your body's natural rhythms. First, let's talk about cooked apples with cinnamon, a warm, healing companion for yogurt. When we think about healthy eating, raw fruits and vegetables often steal the spotlight, praised for their freshness and nutrient density. However, as we age, particularly past 50, our digestive systems sometimes crave something softer, warmer, and easier to process. That's where cooked apples with a dusting of cinnamon come in as an exceptional match for yogurt, offering a soothing, gut-friendly option that's both practical and delightful. Start with the apple itself. Apples are a nutritional powerhouse, packed with fiber, antioxidants, and a unique soluble fiber known as pectin. This pectin acts as a natural probiotic, meaning it serves as food for the beneficial bacteria in your gut, perfectly complementing the probiotics found in yogurt. Together, they create a symbiotic relationship that supports a thriving gut microbiome. But here's the catch: while raw apples are fantastic in theory, they can be tough on aging digestive systems. The firm texture, coarse skin, and cold temperature of raw apples might lead to discomfort, bloating, or sluggish digestion for those with sensitive stomachs. That's why cooking the apples transforms them into something special. By gently simmering them until they're soft and tender, you break down those tougher fibers, making them far easier for your stomach to handle. This is a game changer for older adults who might experience occasional bloating, gas, or irregular bowel movements. Cooked apples provide a respite for the gut, delivering all the nutritional benefits: fiber, antioxidants, and pectin without the strain. The warmth of the cooked fruit also aids digestion by encouraging a smoother, more comfortable process. Now, let's sprinkle in the cinnamon, a spice that's so much more than just a flavor enhancer. Cinnamon brings a natural anti-inflammatory boost to the table, helping to calm any underlying irritation in the digestive tract. It also plays a role in regulating blood sugar, which is crucial for those managing prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or the natural blood sugar fluctuations that can become more pronounced with age. Beyond its health benefits, cinnamon adds a subtle warmth that stimulates gentle movement in the gut, promoting regularity without being harsh or abrasive. But there's an emotional layer to this combination too. Picture this apple simmering on the stove, the sweet aroma mingling with the earthy scent of cinnamon. It's a kind of sensory experience that might transport you back to childhood, perhaps to your grandmother's kitchen, a cozy autumn day, or a moment when food felt like love. Varying this nostalgic duo with yogurt doesn't just make for a smart choice, it's a comforting ritual that nourishes both body and soul. So, what happens when you stir cooked apples and cinnamon into a bowl of yogurt? You get a harmonious, digestion-friendly meal that's soft, warm, and easy on the system. The yogurt delivers its probiotics, those live, beneficial bacteria that bolster digestion and immunity. The cooked apples contribute probiotics to feed those bacteria, ensuring they thrive. And the cinnamon ties it all together with its flavor, warmth, and metabolic support. It's a trio that works seamlessly with your body, enhancing gut health without any unnecessary strain. Want to try it yourself? It's a breeze to prepare. Take 1 or 2 sweet apples like Honeycrisp or Fuji, peel and slice them. Then, place them in a small pot with a splash of water, just enough to prevent sticking. Cover and simmer on low heat for about 10 to 15 minutes until they're fork tender, but not mush. Stir in a light dusting of ground cinnamon, let it cool slightly, and then mix it into a bowl of plain and sweetened yogurt. This versatile dish can be a comforting breakfast, a satisfying afternoon snack, or even a gentle dessert after dinner. It's food that heals and soothes, proving that the simplest ingredients often yield the most rewarding results. Next, let's consider ground flax seeds or chia seeds, tiny powerhouses with big gut benefits. Sometimes the most potent health allies come in the smallest packages, and that's certainly true of ground flax seeds and chia seeds. These unassuming little seeds are bursting with nutrients that deliver outsized benefits for digestion, heart health, and overall vitality, making them an ideal addition to yogurt, especially for those over 50. When blended into a creamy bowl of yogurt, they create a nourishing partnership that promotes regularity, reduces discomfort, and leaves you feeling revitalized. Let's start with flax seeds. These tiny brown or golden seeds are a treasure trove of omega 3 fatty acids, known for their anti-inflammatory properties. As we age, inflammation in the gut can contribute to bloating, constipation, or general unease, issues that omega 3s help to mitigate by soothing the digestive lining. Flax seeds are also rich in soluble fiber, which adds bulk to stools and encourages gentle, consistent bowel movements, a boon for anyone dealing with irregularity. Plus, they contain lignans, unique antioxidants that may support hormone balance and offer protection against age-related conditions like heart disease or certain cancers. With just a tablespoon of ground flax stirred into your yogurt, you're giving your gut a gentle cleanse and a hefty dose of anti-inflammatory goodness. Now, onto chia seeds, an equally impressive option with its own distinct charm. When chia seeds come into contact with liquid, like yogurt, they swell into gel-like consistency that's incredibly soothing to the digestive tract. This gel acts as a natural lubricant, easing the passage of waste through the intestines, perfect for anyone prone to constipation or uneven digestion. Chia seeds are also loaded with fiber, protein, and essential minerals like magnesium and calcium, which support energy, muscle health, and strong bones as we age. Naturally gluten-free and low in sugar, they are a worry-free addition for sensitive stomachs or those monitoring blood glucose levels. Pairing either of these seeds with yogurt does double duty for your gut. First, the added fiber helps sweep waste through your system naturally and efficiently. Second, it creates an optimal environment for the probiotics in yogurt to thrive, since these good bacteria rely on probiotic fiber to stay active and effective. The result, a balanced, supportive meal that's as easy to digest as it is beneficial. Here's how to make it happen. Grab a tablespoon of ground flax seeds, opt for ground, as whole seeds often pass through undigested or chia seeds, and stir them into a small bowl of plain yogurt. Let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes to allow the seeds to soften and meld with the yogurt's creamy texture. For a flavor boost, add a pinch of cinnamon or a drizzle of raw honey, just enough to enhance without overpowering. If you're a planner, mix it up the night before and let it rest in the fridge. By morning, you'll have a thick, pudding-like treat that's both delicious and gut-friendly. Incorporating flax or chia into your yogurt routine is quick, affordable, and requires no cooking, just a bowl, a spoon, and a few minutes. Beyond digestion, these seeds support your heart, brain, bones, and even your mood, making them a quiet powerhouse worth keeping in your pantry. Next time you scoop out some yogurt, toss in one of these tiny superstars. Your body will thank you in all the subtle, meaningful ways that add up over time. Finally, let's discuss cooked or soaked oats, a timeless gut supporting partner for yogurt. When you think of comfort food, something warm, wholesome, and effortlessly satisfying, oats likely come to mind. A staple in kitchens for generations, oats are beloved for their simplicity and nourishing qualities. What you might not realize, though, is how brilliantly they pair with yogurt to create a digestive health dream team, especially for older adults looking to keep their guts happy and balanced. Oats bring a lot to the table. They are rich in beta-glucan, a special type of soluble fiber with proven benefits. It helps lower cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar, and even bolster immune function. But their real magic for digestion lies in their probiotic nature. Oats provide sustenance for the good bacteria in your gut, including the probiotics supplied by yogurt. Picture it like a day party. Yogurt invites the beneficial guests, and oats serve up the nourishment to keep them around, working hard to maintain your digestive harmony. This synergy makes oats and yogurt more than just a tasty duo, it's a strategic partnership for gut health. For older adults, oats offer an added put. They're gentle. Whether cooked into warm porridge or soaked overnight, oats are easy on the stomach, providing sustained energy without taxing the digestive system. Cooking or soaking softens their texture and enhances digestibility, which is key for anyone whose gut might protest raw or harder to break down foods. To enjoy this combo, try cooking a small batch of rolled oats with water or milk until creamy. Then, let them cool slightly before stirring into plain yogurt. Alternatively, soak the oats and yogurt overnight in the fridge for a no-cook option. By morning, you'll have a smooth, satisfying mix that's ready to eat. Add a touch of cinnamon or a few slices of cooked apple hallucinogen for extra flavor and benefits. This pairing is a classic for a reason. It's comforting, nutrient-dense, and perfectly tuned to the needs of an aging body. Together, oats and yogurt deliver a 1-2 punch of probiotics and probiotics, supporting regularity, energy, and overall wellness in a way that feels both indulgent and wise. Let's dive deeper into the art of preparation, because when it comes to oats, how you enjoy them can be just as critical as the decision to include them in your diet. As we age, our digestive systems often become less forgiving, and raw, dry oats, while packed with fiber and nutrients, can sometimes turn into a bit of a challenge. They might sit heavily in the stomach, stirring up bloating, gas, or even a nagging discomfort, particularly if your gut is already prone to sensitivity. This isn't to say oats are off the table, far from it. It's simply a nudge to approach them with a little more care. That's why I strongly suggest cooking or soaking your oats before pairing them with yogurt, a small step that makes a world of difference. Picture this: a pot of oats simmering gently on the stove top, mingling with a splash of water, perhaps some milk, dairy, almond, oat, whatever suits you. The heat transforms those tough, chewy grains into something soft, warm, and wonderfully digestible. Once they've cooled just enough to lose their scalding edge, stir in a generous dollop of plain yogurt. What you end up with is a creamy, comforting bowl that's as soothing to your stomach as it is delightful to your taste buds, a meal that nourishes without overwhelming. But if mornings tend to whisk you away before you can stand over a stove, there's another fantastic option: overnight oats. This couldn't be simpler. In a jar or bowl, mix your dry oats with yogurt and a touch of liquid water, milk, or a plant-based alternative, and tuck it into the fridge before bed. By the time you wake, the oats have softened into a velvety texture, the flavors have melted into something rich and harmonious, and your breakfast is ready to grab and go. Want to elevate it? Toss in a pinch of cinnamon for a warmth, a spoonful of ground flaxseed for an omega-3 boost, or a scattering of soft-cooked fruit, think stewed apples or mashed banana. Suddenly, you've crafted a gut-friendly, nutrient-packed start to your day that requires almost no effort. So, the next time you're spooning out some yogurt, think about adding a layer of warmth and intention with oats. Maybe it's a scoop of the stove-top cooked greens, still steaming faintly as they blend into the cool creaminess, or perhaps a jar of overnight oats you prepped the night before, now chilled and ready to fuel your morning. Either way, you're not just eating, you're giving your gut a gift: the probiotics from the yogurt, the fiber from the oats. They work together like old friends, supporting digestion and nourishing your whole system with a quiet, steady strength. This isn't about chasing the latest superfood fad or popping a pricey supplement. It's simpler than that, and more profound: real food, affordable and unpretentious, prepared with wisdom to heal and sustain. Sometimes, in a world of noise and complexity, the simplicity is exactly what our bodies crave most. So as you continue to seek ways to support your well-being, keep an eye out for new insights that can help you thrive.